welcome to another episode of 10 Minute Coffee Break with Allison and
Jim,
the homie. Listen, today we are talking about microaggressions and woo, we're getting into it. So join us. So, this is a conversation that I'm uncomfortable. Are you uncomfortable?
very.
Okay, well, let's get
But
to it.
you know why I'm uncomfortable?
Why?
Because it's taken me a long time and you helping me a lot try to understand what a microaggression is. Mm-hmm. And then it makes me feel guilty because I've been hurting people and didn't know it, didn't mean to, but didn't know it.
Yeah.
So it's an important conversation.
It is.
So lead us off.
Well, honestly, can I say that probably within the last 2 years, have I even got the words to say to it as well? Because in some cases, been so used to it, unfortunately, right? And then sometimes people kind of feel like that they're wrong for speaking up. And that's what makes it uncomfortable too. But microaggression is really in the subtlety. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And oftentimes for me, again, it really comes out of, it's just what you think. But what it does, it alienates someone or a group of people, most of the time unconsciously or unintentionally, but it creates such a very tense and difficult environment for the 2 or 3 people that have kind of been hit by it.
Well, here's, when you first explained it to me, mm-hmm. you asked me to give you what I thought a microaggression was, and I gave it to you, and you said, no, that's a major aggression. And I went, oh, okay. And so the subtlety in what you're talking about is there, and I think for people my age, we are not careful about how we address things about people. Sometimes we say things about stereotypes and don't even know it. Mm-hmm. We just grew up that way. Mm-hmm. But I think in the workplace, which is what you and I talk the most about, mm-hmm. it's where most of us that care and that are professionals are careful. Yeah. We're careful. So we mean to be well-spoken and thoughtful. So that's why microaggressions are kind of important to us, because we can think we're doing the right thing, mm-hmm. but we're alienating a part of the workforce. Mm-hmm. Unintentionally, but really in 2021, unintentional doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't. Or it matters less, I should say. Yeah. And so tell me some ways that an old white man can avoid committing microaggressions.
Avoid committing microaggressions, that definitely, to me, that comes with insert yourself in environments where you can start to hear, feel, think, and see through someone else's eyes. If you don't have anybody else around you, you're not going to know that what you said is so egregious. So here's some examples. I was trying to think of...
Oh, I know. I have a word. You ready?
Yes.
Macro-empathy.
I was about to say, you better get it out. You got us up here.
Macro-empathy.
Macro-empathy.
So if I have to empathize with you by being you, by trying to figure out why you would think something was offensive or why you would think you were left out in that inclusion sentence or something.
Yeah, so, when you say it like that, that is what I said, but I'm like, I don't know if that's going to help you. I think it's you more so, let me see, you have to walk back what you think is right. So here's an example of a microaggression. I was trying
what I think is right. Okay, I got you. I'm with you.
So I'm going to use this one because I've been able to work around it. So I'm a black woman. Did you know?
I figured it out.
Okay, yeah. Secret's out. And I'm very proud of that. But I'm a black woman, but my name is Allison. So I haven't had to experience some of the microaggressions that come along with being black and having a different name. Okay. But let's use that for example. So I have a best friend, and she's going to be very upset that I'm putting her out like this. But you know what? Her company didn't get this coffee break, so we're going to talk about her, okay? Between the two of us, she is absolutely the smarter, more brilliant, more polished, and et cetera. But she has a different name. She has a 7-letter name, syllable vowel. Syllable vowel is very easy to say. Over the years, she's gotten so uncomfortable with the microaggression that comes along with her name that she now just says her name is T. And her boss never in a million years thought that maybe it's because I make a joke about different names with the patients and things that come through here, that she's no longer comfortable about the name her mom gave her. She just really likes this nickname that we just happened to give her when she started working here. And so I can tell her every day, girl, you need to tell them your real name. But the psychology that goes along with it, right, is just like, forget it. But she has to sit in these interviews where she's watching names like hers get overlooked, or it comes with a snicker. I wonder if their family's with the gang. What you think, T? And she just has to sit there in this environment.
Well, that is kind of helpful, because what it helps me to do is recognize the microaggression through somebody else's eyes. Okay, so that's a starting place. But I think another place is to think through what you have said and watch how people react to it.
Yeah.
Because, I experienced some terrible discrimination when I was growing up, the kind that got people killed. And so I always thought, well, that's big. I'll always recognize that. And as political correctness, or whatever you want to call it, eased its way into our society, I started seeing smaller and smaller things that were hurting people. And at some level, that's what you have to do. You have to sit there and watch what's said, and then look at the person it was said to and see how they reacted. In the workplace, that's all part of being allies with each other. If I'm your ally, somebody says something, I look over at you and you didn't take it well, that's the time to kind of have a talk about it.
Yeah. Yes, but when you can't tell that on me, because I come to work every day and you all have been abusive, and I'm tired of being the one that looks like, oh, she has an attitude today, let's not mess with the black lady, then you're not going to be able to tell. And what I have found in so many of my relationships with some of my white friends and my friends that are in leadership positions, I always encouraged, I challenge them. I'm like, I bet you that one minority person is not telling you everything that they think. And it would really, like, people would say to me, I know I would not. It took me to get out of those spaces to then speak up and say, this wasn't right. And I experienced this when I was working there, because that's my job, right? And so I'm afraid if I tell these people, I don't like when you laugh at what I have on, or my hair, or my name, or when you're laughing at these other black women in their hair or their whatever. And I'm like, that is my cousin. It doesn't make me feel like I can really be honest with you that you hurt my feelings, or that this person hurt my feelings. So usually you can tell, but I would say in your heart, if you felt uncomfortable, if it was cringe to you, it was cringe. Google it, research it. Don't put the pressure on that one black person that's there. Check your heart. Like, they felt uncomfortable. If your child came home and told you that this happened to them at school, how would it make you feel?
I just thought of a good sort of basis for it.
Okay.
We're in the workplace, and we have an obligation to be professional. More than we do out there on the street, more than we do anything else. Not in the coffee break, though.
Right.
But part of being professional is thinking about the impact of what you say, and particularly as managers and things like that. So maybe microaggression is hard to understand unless you personalize it to yourself, as opposed to what I said, watch for reaction, because professionals hide their reactions. So
yeah, you got your job.
So here's the deal for you.
Okay, what?
You got to do the call to action on this one.
Go to a therapist. Call a therapist. But honestly, I think, especially for the people that care, right? So
what if I'm already at a therapist all
tell
the time?
them, can we skip past the kids' stories?
Okay, let's go right here to microaggression.
I got a friend named Boniqua that I didn't even know. I thought Boniqua wanted to be called BB. Who knew that she loved the name her mama gave her? But honestly, I think, in both sides, I think, people who are getting the confidence to say, my feelings were hurt, but I'm ready to reinsert myself. I'm ready to give my best. They got to go to therapy too, because you got to forgive. You got to move on.
So maybe the therapy is just
that is the call to action.
Be open in the workplace.
Okay, yeah. So Be open in the workplace, definitely. And I think look it up. I think research it. If today is your first time hearing about microaggressions, or people are like, dang, look it up. I saw a wonderful article in Forbes, and maybe by the time this goes in the edit, I'll have this information so it could be on the screen somewhere.
Okay.
But yeah, I saw a couple of articles. Look up microaggressions.
Okay.
And see.
That's a good call to action.
I know.
Look it up.
Look it up. So since I got a good call to action, y'all, we got to say toodles. This is how
Toodles.
you end it. 10 minutes up. This
That's
is a
it.
good one. Woo, I'm uncomfortable. I think I sweat a little bit too.